Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from Valhartv, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Jungle Cruise. This movie just came out on July 30th, so yesterday night. And the movie is partly based on the African Queen. And we got a really good duo in that movie. I've only seen it once, so I can't really reference a lot of it, but that's what it kind of reminds me of, along with The Mummy, Indiana Jones, Romance in the Stone, all these other movies rolled into one. But this is based off of the Jungle Cruise ride that Disney has. So they added a supernatural element to this movie, which I actually liked. I thought it was really good. How it reminded me of like The Mummy, we have the woman who knows what she wants and is determined to get it. You have the proper brother who follows her and helps out, and then you have the scoundrel who's out to scam people and make a living for himself, maybe even get rich in the process, right? So we have all these elements just like we did in The Mummy, really. I thought that was really good. The whole premise of this could be like really another Indiana Jones movie, honestly, especially with the adventure elements. We have the supernatural element and that really reminded me of like Pirates of the Caribbean. That's what I was trying to remember. So the story is really decent. I mean, we have Blunt, who plays Lily, and Whitehall, who plays McGregor. They're brother and sister in this, and they're trying to find this mystical tree called this mystical tree that produces these petals that are called tears of the moon. Now, these tears can cure anything, and I mean anything on Earth. They can cure any kind of sickness, any kind of disease, basically anything. So they end up traveling to Brazil, and they meet Frank, the captain of a little boat, who takes them on a magical journey in search of the tears. And Frank is played by The Rock. So we get this captain, and we see this captain taking a tour with people, and he's got all this stuff planned where he shoots a rope or he cuts a cord, and all these different things pop out and happen, and he's and he charges people money, and these people are like, but hey, that, and he's like, shush, he's like, don't interrupt me again, and it's hilarious when we first meet him. It's really good. And, so they go on this magical journey, really. And this is when the movie ends up introducing the supernatural aspect of it in the form of a curse. And we also get to see a German prince played by Plemons. And Plemons is trying to find the tree for himself, too. So he's kind of trying to find Lily and everybody else because they have an artifact. I'm trying to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, but they have something that is helping them out, and he's following them trying to get it, and it's kind of a race, and it's really, I mean, the whole movie is, like, all over the place, but it's also, like, it also connects, like, really well, especially towards the end. It all comes together, and it's really well done, to be honest with you. This movie has, explosions. We get to see natives, monsters, and, like a whole lot more. There's tons of stuff in this movie, which I thought was great. And there's even a twist that you don't see coming. Like, I did not see this coming at all. And that's because it's really well done. Like, the story is so woven in together really well. All these elements. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And it also has dad jokes in it. Now, the dad jokes are so corny, they're funny. I cracked up laughing every time The Rock did a corny dad joke. It was great. Now, the one thing I will say about this movie that I didn't particularly like is that it's over 2 hours. I thought it could have been just under 2 hours, and I think it would have been a little bit better because there's a couple of scenes that I kind of felt were a little stretched out. They were still good and funny, but they were just a little drawn out And I think if they had cut it down just a tiny bit, it still would have been just as good. That's the only complaint I really had about this movie. The effects in this were fantastic. The jungle looks great. The sets, like the town that they first go to in Brazil, looked great. We get the CGI that they use for like the monsters and some other stuff. I thought was really well done. The locations, the sets, the locations were great. I honestly, like the native village, just for one, I thought was really cool looking the way they did it, you know? So that was really good. The score. Now, the score, I thought in this was fantastic. It was, I believe, done by James Newton Howard. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like, they play the Metallica song, Nothing Else Matters in it. And I thought it was a good rendition of it. I really did. Now, for the acting wise, The Rock and Emily Blunt have amazing chemistry in this. Like, The Rock is really, like, bigger than life in most of his movies, and it's hard to pair him up with somebody. But, like, these two really played off each other extremely well. It was fun to watch. Like, their playful banter, their flirtiness a little bit in it was just really fun. Like, when The Rock did his dad jokes, she would be like, oh, not again, you need to stop. And he's like, I can't turn it off. And, dude, it was great because they kept playing off each other like that. I laughed every time, dude. It was such a good watch for just them two alone. But everybody else, I mean, Whitehall and Plemons were good in this movie too. They all played off each other. I thought it was well done for it. And this movie has a lot of elements in it again, from like other movies that we've seen before, but they do it really well in this movie, and it actually comes together, and it's a really fun watch. This is really a good family movie, or just a movie that you can even watch with your friends and just crack up laughing, and of how like corny the jokes are, and like how good the action is in it, and things like that, and the adventure that you go on with these guys. And that's what's kind of weird about like Disney and other like studios nowadays, is they'll have like these movies that they try to put out that are mediocre to okay at best, you know, and then all of a sudden they'll come right out with like a great movie like this to watch, and you're just like, what? You know, it's like, why did I waste my money on these movies when I could have just waited for this movie here, you know? And it goes back and forth, and it's very unfortunate that we get some good movies, some bad movies. But, I mean, not every movie can be great. It's just like, especially when you deal with like Marvel movies and shows lately, and some of them are just kind of hit or miss, you know, and then all of a sudden we get this really good family and friends movie, you know, where you can literally watch it with anybody and enjoy it. Like, kids will definitely enjoy this movie. It has the right amount of elements. It's not scary or anything like that. It's real kid friendly. So I thought it was, you know, I liked that. I thought it was great. I would give this, it's not a perfect movie, so I would give this at least an 8.5 out of 10 easily. This was a good watch. Like, if I had friends over and they wanted to watch it with me, I'd definitely watch it again. This was a good movie overall. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this movie. And if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe, as I'll be doing more content. Take care for now, everybody.